Good afternoon and welcome once again to Match of the Day for two First Division matches. Our first look at newly promoted Watford, who played Coventry, and with Nottingham Forest against Arsenal, there's a chance to assess how far along the road to regaining former glories are Brian Clough and Terry Neal.
With the game's image again being tarnished by 9 sendings off yesterday, PFA Secretary Gordon Taylor today suggests the possibility of an elite group of professional referees as a way of improving relations all round. And the Alan Simonsen saga draws to an end, with Charlton chairman Mark Hellier flying to Barcelona for one last desperate bid to finalise the deal.
We kick off today's action at the City Ground, Nottingham, where at this stage of the season both Forest and visitors Arsenal know the importance of the 3 points at stake and the effect an outright win can have in establishing a respectable and challenging place in the First Division table. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Tony Woodcock comes back to the ground which once was his home, so much a part of the Forest fire of the late 70s before moving on to try fame and fortune with Cologne. And among the opposition, Woodcock's partner up front when the European Cup was first won, Gary Birtles. Between them they accounted for 40 goals during that season. And Birtles has been showing something of that form after returning to Forest from a disappointing time at Manchester United. And he's one of the changes since we were here last. There's no Peter Taylor now on the bench, no Peter Shilton, no John McGovern. But like Birtles, Ian Bowyer has returned, and so to Brian Clough has Colin Todd. And Berkelin came from Utrecht, and Kenny Swain more recently on loan from Aston Villa. Woodcock, like Birtles, has scored 4 times this season, including a goal in Arsenal's last 2 games, both of which were won. And in the line-up today, a birthday boy, Graham Rix, who celebrates his 25th birthday, and John Hollins, for whom every day is a birthday in football, starting today his 701st league appearance. So a long way to go yet for Colin Todd, who today chalks up number 600. Brian Clough takes his place on an afternoon which seems suitable enough for being across the road at Trent Bridge. Bright sunshine. Both sides, incidentally, have named a forward a substitute, which is perhaps a sign of the times. Arsenal in their change strip, which is of green shirts with blue arms. It's Kenny Sansom. First touch for Woodcock. Challenged by Proctor. Here's Colin Todd. And Gunn. Walsh's turn, with a bit too much space for Proctor. Referee, one of the FIFA men, George Courtney from Spennymoor. Rix. It's a second chance. Arsenal having something of a monopoly on possession at the start. Well, that's what the man covering is meant for. Walsh on the left touchline. Wallace and Birtles forward. And Birtles is onside, says the linesman. It was a tight one, but the linesman was absolutely level. Walsh has done well. And his cross, having made the room for himself, was a bit of a disappointment. George Wood, the goalkeeper, and both goalkeepers wearing blue. And Arsenal's change strip, a bit of a problem for the goalkeepers. There was a time when they were thinking about getting some white jerseys sent down. It's Van Breukelen, Walsh. Robertson. And the referee would like a word. I think maybe he would like a name. Crowd looking into the sunshine. That's the name of Stuart Robson. goes into George Courtney's book. Todd. John Hollins missed last Saturday because of a groin strain. Sunderland did well. Davis. Ricks. Torwood has gone forward. Out to the left. Sunderland wants it positively in the inside right position. It's nicely done. He didn't make enough of the chance. It was a good call by him. And the ball would certainly posed a few questions. Walsh. Wallace. John Robertson. Plenty of red shirts in the box. Here's Gunn. Well, he fired one but got no ricochet. White. Sunderland. Offside. Todd. Birtles. Walsh. Trick by Hollins. Walsh just made his debut around the 21 level for Scotland. Six from his players forward. One of them is Fairclough. That was met by Robson. Chance of a break here for Arsenal. Sunderland in possession. Plenty of players forward. Oh, it's got to be played earlier than this. Well, really, Sunderland did far too much carrying. And players all over the place in attacking positions, and it needed to be switched around quickly. Here's Walsh. Oh, that's an awkward one. Robertson, and the goal scored by Proctor. Arsenal defence all at sea from the moment that George Wood lost the cross from Colin Walsh. It was Sanson who cleared off the line from Wallace, but in the end, Proctor had an awful lot of room to put it home. Proctor seizing the chance to score only his second goal for Nottingham Forest. Goal was previously was against Sunderland in September '81. Kenny Sanson to take the throw. It was he who cleared the ball off the line. Arsenal never really had the chance to sort themselves out. Hollins. Ricks. Gunn. Robertson. Birtles, O'Leary with him. Robertson. Gunn. Wallace, Bertels. The whistle has gone. Hollins. Torvitz. Play staying in the sunshine. Over here in the shadow is number 6, Chris White. Davis. Man on the far side, and a good save. Robson, who was denied, and who in the end handled the ball. The goalkeeper did well. I think Stuart Robson will be a bit disappointed he didn't make more of that. The goalkeeper did well to parry, I suppose. Offside against Bertels. Torvitz. O'Leary. Davis. Problems for Forest. Bowyer just to the left of Bertels. Hollins got there. And Bowyer gets nothing. And clearly is surprised. Wallace is onside again. It's about the 3rd time Arsenal got caught. And once more, Hollins ends the danger. Sansom. It's a break the other way. Davis with Robson cutting in. And again with a similar shooting chance a moment ago. And it has the same end. But Van Breukelen well out of his goal, and Davis will score. No, he won't, he's offside. But Van Breukelen, having made a really good save initially, to deny Stuart Robson, decided to stay out, was nowhere near his goal when Davis nodded in, but Davis was too near it and was offside. 15 minutes gone. 1 goal scored for Nottingham Forest by Proctor, and many a chance. Wallace even beat his own men. Swain. Bertels, Hollins sets a corner. Arsenal defensively just have not sorted themselves out, mentally at least, since conceding the goal. Forest content to leave just 3 players in defensive positions. Proctor. Kenny Swain. And another break. Robertson. Nicely weighted to Gunn. Bowyer hit it well. And he was a bit unfortunate. Talbot's header came out to him. It's the right shot all along the ground against the goalkeeper, who may not have had a clear view of it, but just wide. Sunderland has not found any sort of touch. Perhaps she can now. Fairclough across. Quite acrobatic the way he landed. Forest throw. "20 minutes gone of what I can only describe as a very funny game. Sunderland. Ricks. Both players had high feet. This is Hollins. And it comes to Robson. Talbot is forward, number 4. And it was finally played with the hand from Robson's cross. Talbot, who scored in both meetings of these sides last season, both of which Arsenal won. Robertson. David O'Leary, looking very ill at ease. Foul by Bowyer, foot up. And Ronnie Fenton trying to get the referee's attention as we look at David O'Leary. Fenton did get the referee's attention. And it's Colin Walsh in need of some treatment. Proctor. Birtles, nicely done, just couldn't get the second touch. Robson. Sansom. That's some good running by Sansom, who started that, but his cross was well swallowed. Nottingham Forest forced to make a substitution. Colin Walsh, the player, coming off. And his departure means a debut for 21-year-old Steve Wigley. Scored 4 times for the reserves. It's the second time he's been on the bench, or the first time he's come on. Sansom. Woodcock. Staked by Swain, which he covers, and well. It's the first time that Todd has given the ball away. Oh, that was an awkward one, and it was Woodcock who came in. But again, Van Breukelen was very quickly up on his feet. At Steve Wigley, news of Colin Walsh, the man he's replaced, is that Walsh has got a hamstring. And no time for the corner. And we reach half-time with the goal by Mark Proctor in the 10th minute, dividing the teams. Really a half that was a great deal of chase, and the performance, the calm composure of Colin Todd, in marked contrast with an awful lot of what went on. Half-time score, Forest 1, Arsenal 0. So Gary Birtles, who began his league career against Arsenal, the match here in September 1978, gets the second half underway. Here's Kenny Sansom. Wallace. Sunderland. Todd picking up where he left off. Robertson. Hollins. Plenty of time for the back pass. Sunderland. Woodcock. Robson over this way. Hollins further back. This is O'Leary. Good running and a nice touch from Ricks. Good cross. In comes Robson. Sunderland. Davis is offside. It's a really good play by Kenny Sansom. A lot of pace out to the left. He was very well found by Graham Ricks. Hit the cross in full stride. As Robson and Sunderland came in, Davis had gone forward and was clearly offside. Played by Birtles. This could be promising. Proctor in possession. Bowyer to the middle. Wallace to the middle. Wigley to the middle. Cross finds Robertson. Davis. Sunderland in a bit more space than he's been accustomed to. Woodcock is waiting for the cross. Challenge well timed by Gunn. Woodcock waiting in the centre of the area. Chris White coming to the near post. O'Leary makes the first run across the box. Robertson. O'Leary. Sansom. Neatly done by Robson, but he's run into Todd. Robertson. And the fall came on the hour. Torvett. Ricks. Useful. Davis did well, did very well. Bowyer denying him the shots, and he finally got one in, but put it wide. Some close control then by Paul Davis, which was in a totally different class from most of what we've seen in the afternoon. Did very well to claim it in the first place, held on in spite of the pressure being put on him by Bowyer, and when he found room for the shot, he put it wide. Player twice denied by an offside flag in the match, Paul Davis, but that was much the best thing he's done. Ricks. Sansom. Davis. Nicely done. Sansom. Arsenal's best attacks have involved this fella. Lee Chapman, who's been left out for the last 3 games, needs to get his chance in this one. Stuart Robson is the man replaced. Chapman has 14 minutes to play. Birtles. Birtles waiting on the 6-yard line. Wigley run into trouble. Bowyer took it well. And now Bertels. That's the second. All credit to Ian Bowyer, who saw the opportunity from a bad clearance. And there was no messing about that time. Bertels put it away cleanly. So with 8 minutes left, Nottingham Forest surely make sure of the 3 points. At least it means that George Wood's mistake has not proved decisive, which would have been very unfair of him, as so many mistakes have been made in the match. The goalkeepers, of course, are not allowed them. Proctor. Swain. Wallace. Swain. Bertels. Robertson. Trying to curl it. It's a corner. Swain denied his first goal for Nottingham Forest by the crossbar. Quigley. Oh, it wasn't a good return. Proctor has the room now. Bertels. Wallace! That's a good goal. Good cross from Proctor and a couple of good headers. First from Bertels and the second from Wallace. Two goals in the space of 3 minutes. And Nottingham Forest have a 3-0 lead. Talbot brushing Wigley rather too hard. Flag up for offside against Bertels. Again, beautifully taken. That might be going Dutch, it does. Good finish by Nottingham Forest, with Wallace getting the best goal of the match, helped by the side flick from Gary Bertels, who had scored Nottingham Forest's second. That, though, was the result of a poor defensive clearance, and the first goal by Proctor in the 10th minute came from a slip by George Wood. But a final score of Nottingham Forest 3, Arsenal 0. But when it's all over, this is the man whose performance I will remember. Colin Todd, as good as ever on his 600th appearance.
If you're good enough, you're young enough, as Colin Todd, John Hollins, Jimmy Dickinson, Terry Payne, John Trollope and Sir Stanley have proved through the years. Well, for our second game, we visit Vicarage Road, the home of Watford, for their match against Coventry City. On the field under Graham Taylor, they perform sensationally to win a First Division place. But equally admirably, they've managed to create a warm family atmosphere at the ground, which yesterday I enjoyed along with your commentator, John Motson.
He was only on the field for 9 minutes, but Luther Blissett's appearance for England against West Germany means he's the first player in the club's 91-year history to win a full England cap while playing for Watford. And 4 changes in the Watford team after 3 league games without a win is not as radical as it may seem. The return at number 2 of Pat Rice, at number 9 of Jerry Armstrong and at number 10 of Jan Lohmann means today's team differs in only 1 position from the side which went top of Division 1 last month. That's at centre-back, where manager Graham Taylor leaves out Ian Bolton for the first time since both arrived here in 1977 and gives Steve Sims his first league match of the season after injury. Sims' last appearance in Division 1 was as a Leicester player. And another man signed from Leicester, Coventry's number 9, Jim Melrose, has established himself as their top scorer with 6 goals in 6 games. Coventry are unchanged, but should soon have Mark Hateley back. He's missed 8 matches with a foot injury. Dave Sexton delighted with the success of the England under-21 team under his control when they beat West Germany in the European final. Referee David Axel of Southend on a sunny afternoon here at Vicarage Road after plenty of rain during the week. Watford playing from right to left. Here's Blissett. Gillespie for Coventry. Watford have won all their home matches bar 1. Offside flag up there. And that was a draw. And Coventry, in reverse, have only drawn 1 away game and lost all the others. Here's Gary Thompson. Came out to Jacobs. Watford player in need of attention, hence the delay. Jan Lohmann, who's come back into the side today. And Thompson's up there again, and Gillespie was lurking. Here's Melrose. That's very awkward indeed, and quite what Pat Rice was doing for a moment there. Seemed a little bit in doubt. He certainly wanted to hang on to the ball and make sure of the clearance. In the end, he got away with it. Just brushed Butterworth there, and Barnes now against Thomas. Referee's given a free kick. Indirect for obstruction. Sims has gone forward to support Armstrong. And it cleared Blissett and went straight through to Seeley from Nigel Callaghan. Chance of a break on Coventry's left, but Hunt was taken out by Les Taylor, who's got Callaghan to the right. All rather untidy on both sides there, but here's Thompson. And it's now running well for Jacobs. Melrose has gone back to his right, but Jackett was marking him. And here comes Lohmann. They're saying give it to Rostron. Oh, a miscue by Dyson there, but Jackett gets it back for Watford. Linesman is flagging for a foul by Armstrong on Roberts. Francis. Jacobs. Oh. Thompson. His turn, but not a good pass. Distribution on both sides falling short of First Division standard in the opening quarter of an hour here. But Blissett may create something here. Corner. Armstrong is on the near side of the 6-yard area. Barnes on the far post. Sims is forward. And Blissett gets a flick on. Taylor tries to get it back. Dyson out as far as Jacket. What an intelligent ball that was to Callahan. Lohman is in there. Here's Blissett. And Blissett hit the bar. Away by Roberts. Lohman is coming in. Offside against Armstrong. A calculated effort by Luther Blissett there, where some would have swung wildly. He steadied himself, kept the ball under control, but it came back off the crossbar. Very unlucky. Again, 7 yellow shirts pressed well forward as Jacket takes the kick. Callahan. It's too long for Barnes, who retrieves. Rostron in for Armstrong, away by Gillespie. And now Coventry with 2 players on this side. Hunt, Melrose has gone into the centre. Thompson's also there. And a header by Rice was straight to Melrose. A couple of anxious moments already for Pat Rice in the Watford defence, but they've had the greater share of play, as you might expect in the opening 20 minutes. This is Barnes. Good running by Les Taylor from midfield. Look at that. Missed his shot completely, but then scored a offside. I was going to say scored a quite brilliant goal, but there was another Watford player hovering in an offside position, I fancy, and Les Taylor's effort does not count. Strange how he missed his kick completely, then regained his composure, put the ball in with a lovely chip curling into the far side, but the flag was up, and the goal does not stand. Rostron. Through ball is for Blissett. What a fine shot, and it deserved a goal. Beautiful effort on the run, first time by Luther Blissett. Rostron, who drove the ball through. Blissett had Butterworth in close attendance. He shook him off and drove it beautifully with the left foot, and it just seemed to shave that far post. Oh, good skill from Gary Thompson. Melrose pulling away to the far side, coming in now. And Thompson blocked, Thompson again. And Melrose, no, Thompson, no. Blocked this time by Steve Sims. And Coventry having a little spell here. Gary Thompson close twice now, indeed twice in that same attack. Sherwood coming to meet him the first time. The scramble could have led to a goal by either Thompson or Melrose. And in the end, Thompson's turned effort was blocked by Sims. So on a ground where Watford have scored 17 goals in First Division matches already this season. They failed to score in the first half here. One effort disallowed, but Coventry, for the most part, defending quite adequately and also offering a threat or two of their own, mainly through number 10, Gary Thompson. Those Watford Hornets are made by one of the club's keen supporters. In fact, Mrs. Rickett is standing at the back behind her sons, Gavin and Giles. And it's nice to see Watford looking after disabled supporters in that way. Typical of the directors here that they arrange that special enclosure for young fans such as those. The two clubs last met 2 seasons ago in the Football League Cup, when Coventry drew here 2-2 and then won the replay at Highfield Road 5-0. That was in the quarter-final that year. And they're holding their own here again this afternoon up to now, despite the fact that Blissett hit the bar and shaved the post in the first half for Watford. Dyson. Rostron. After the prolific way Watford started life in the First Division, I suppose there has to be some sort of levelling off sooner or later. It's a point that Graham Taylor's been trying to get across to his players and supporters. Can't win 8-0 every week. But here's Barnes. Armstrong. Kept the ball in play well. Butterworth got it out as far as Francis, who tries to shake off Lohman. Goal kick. Perhaps the Watford fans might recall that it's several months since their team failed to score in a home game. You've got to go back to last March when Cambridge forced a 0-0 draw here at Vicarage Road. The fans have seen plenty of goals since then. And it's a reverse of what's been happening in recent weeks for Watford. This time, Ross Jenkins is the man coming on. And Jerry Armstrong, voted the best British player in the World Cup, is the man going off. Ross Jenkins, who celebrates 10 years at Watford next month, their longest-serving player, hence the generous applause as he came on. Here's Hunt. Jacobs. Francis. This is Hunt again. Oh, Melrose, a lovely... brought down by Jackett. Now, that was a foul 20 yards from goal. Melrose had turned his man. Whether you'd call it a goal-scoring opportunity is open to debate. David Axel, the referee, talks to Kenny Jackett. It was a lovely turn by Jim Melrose. One has to take that into account, and therefore perhaps Jackett will be booked. And I think that might well be the right verdict, because Melrose turned so sweetly. He threw him completely. So, 20 minutes into the second half, free kick to Coventry. And here's Gillespie. It's a Watford throw. I think the crowd would have insisted on that anyway. There's a determination about Coventry which has got to be encouraging for them. But there's still some way to go. Oh, that was awkward. Came out to Rostron, there's a chance in there. And goodness me, Jenkins from almost underneath the crossbar. Danny Thomas gets a pat on the head from Seeley for intervening. But either Blissett or Jenkins seemed likely to score there. Thompson's touch. Melrose. Now, Hunt just staying slightly wide. This is Steve Hunt. And goalkeeper, and I think possibly the side of the post as well. Steve Hunt attacking Pat Rice, getting power into the left foot shot, and Sherwood reacting well. Ball caught the outside of the goal. And in comes Gillespie, but that's an easy one for Sherwood. Thomas and Callaghan. Watford sending 5 players forward from midfield as that ball was held up. And Dave Sexton's team looking as though they're going to take a hard-earned point here. Melrose. Hunt. Melrose, Thompson. Good effort. Oh, how strong Coventry have come at the end of each half. Towards the end of the first half, Gary Thompson twice tested Steve Sherwood, and that was a good slick build-up and a fierce shot. Only just over from Thompson. Header was by Butterworth, but there's no last chance because Watford have failed to score in a home match for the first time since last March. And I suppose other managers will be ringing up Dave Sexton and asking him how you stop Watford, and Graham Taylor manages to smile. Perhaps the answer is the attentive way in which his defenders played today. Luther Blissett hit the bar in the first half, but it wouldn't come for Watford after that, and indeed Gary Thompson might well have stolen the match for Coventry at the other end. Coventry take their second away point of the season, and Watford have now gone 4 league games without winning. Sometime, I think, it had to level off for them.
Well, not a good match for spectators, I'm afraid, and one which showed the fragile nature of form. The players ran hard, tackled strongly, gave a lot, but in a creative sense achieved very little. The defensive qualities were there to be admired, but both sides seemed apprehensive when in possession. For different reasons, they failed mentally to overcome whatever pressure it is they feel as First Division players in 1982. And as luck would have it, the one moment the ball did go in the net, a goal wasn't given. And it gives us a chance to admire first the top and bottom of the skill ladder. John Barnes' fine ball here into space is picked up by Les Taylor, and as his manager Graham said, he showed us first of all the skill of a park player when he missed that ball, and within a second the skill of world-class value that completely deceives Les Seeley there. But it wasn't given, and it just a chance for us also to look at the offside position there. As we stop the action here when he comes to kick it with his right foot finally, we see Ian Callaghan in an onside position on the right-hand side of the picture arrowed. Nigel Callaghan, I got Ian in there, I hope you'll forgive me for that. But although referees and linesmen have been asked to make certain a player is interfering with play in an offside position before disallowing a goal, it is still the judgment of the referee and the linesman in that position that finally counts. So the otherwise sunny afternoon ended without a goal, a disappointed Watford team, a not unhappy Coventry party, but John Motson took up the subject of the quality of the afternoon's entertainment with the 2 chairmen concerned.
Well, towards the end of that game, the 2 managers on the benches looked decidedly worried, but the 2 chairmen strike me as being in slightly lighter mood.
Well, what can you say after a game like that, you know? I wasn't in a lighter mood during the game. I was a bit, had to keep my eyelids open. But, you know, we get spoiled a bit down here. Teams are getting wise to us now, and they're coming in defending. I thought Coventry defended very well today. Oh, very good. And I thought they were going to nick it at the end, actually. I thought they wasted a very good chance. If the ball had been given to Steve Hunt instead of someone, I don't know who it was who had a shot. I think they would have nicked it, but,
you're talking about the game.
I know, I'm talking about the game, but yeah. You know, we've been spoiled down here for the goals and everything, and I think Coventry did very well.
It's charming to meet a chairman, you know, with such an understanding of the tactics of the game. I mean, most of them don't know what it's about, but I mean, Elton does understand because he plays regularly himself.
Oh, regularly, and once every 3 years. Yeah.
But we were disappointed. I mean, as chairman, we were disappointed because we didn't enjoy the game that much, to be fair. I mean, I've got my other hat on now. Your other hat, sorry.
You haven't got my other hat.
No, I've got his hat. But it's advertising Luton, the Hatters and all that, which I know is your second love. But basically, we did feel disappointed that we hadn't entertained the viewers. I mean, it's nothing to do with us, as you'll realise.
It's the first 0-0 draw down here for a long time. Usually we expect Cambridge, those sort of games. It's, as I say, you tend to get spoilt, the public tends to get spoilt, because, goals, and sometimes they don't come. And I said to Birdie Me halfway through the first half, I said, this is going to be a 0-0 draw, and it was. And we got 1 point out of it, and we're still in 6th place, so we can't really grumble.
And we got 1 point out of it, and we're still in place, and we can grumble. There we go.
On a serious note for a minute, though, I mean, there is this mood now, obviously, to improve the entertainment side of the game. I mean, we've got a committee appointed and so on and so on. I mean, do you see that game as one that has just got to happen inevitably from time to time, or would you perhaps expect your teams to do something about a 0-0 draw, if you follow me?
I think those sort of things are bound to happen. I don't think you can score goals on cue every match, and I think those sort of results are going to happen. I honestly do. It wasn't a particularly entertaining game, but every match down here this season has been very entertaining, and this is the first one that hasn't been that entertaining, but we still got a point out of it. It's bound to happen. There's some nights when you go on stage and no matter how much you try and make things work, they don't work. And the harder you try, the worse it gets. And you're going to get days like that on the football field and on stage, so I mean, I can equate to that very easily.
Well, I haven't been on stage singing lately, but
You've been on the golf course, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
There are days, Jim, on the golf course.
The harder you try, the worse it gets, yeah, for all of us. But, I mean, seriously, as I say, it is a sort of worry that the lads try their hardest and they run and they tackle and they do all those things, and it doesn't turn out to be a sparkling game. I mean, that's one of the problems I think that the game faces, and what the answer is, I think, to be very serious with the Coventry lads particularly, I think they lack confidence on the ball. It's amazing that when they get it, that they tend to want to throw it away quickly, and I saw signs of that even in the Watford team, who've been having a much better run, and I don't know how you get that confidence into players, particularly young players.
Anyway, it's hats off now and off for a drink, is it?
Well, of course.
Certainly, John. Hats off.
Yeah.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Good ending.
Good ending.
Better than the match.
Hey, John.
The interview ranked on a par with the match, really.
Yeah.
Well, all the efforts being made to improve the product on the field of play are still being ruined by the excessive number of sendings off. 9 more players got their marching orders yesterday, bringing the season's total to 83, twice last season's figure at this time. The concern of PFA Secretary Gordon Taylor is such that he believes it's possibly time to set up an elite group of professional referees who would, apart from taking charge of the major games, get involved on a day-to-day basis at club level in an effort to improve relations all round. Gordon also told me that he's receiving a heavy postbag from clubs and fans as a result of the current situation. The clubs complaining that nowadays they don't have enough players to cope with suspensions. The fans upset that they're not getting value for money by watching games involving 11v10 or even worse. The root problem, it seems, continues to be refereeing inconsistencies. For instance, Middlesbrough keeper Jim Platt got away with a booking yesterday for a blatant professional foul, while Northampton's keeper Neil Freeman was sent off after diving for the ball at the feet of a Hull player. It was the second time Freeman has been sent off this season, and after recently passing exams for the police force, he told me this afternoon, "I will almost certainly pack the game in. It's a waste of time. I can't do the job the way I want to, and as a keeper you have to be brave and dive at feet." I must say I sympathise with Neil, and bearing in mind my own style of diving at feet when I played, I'd have been off every week. There's an understandable air of depression at Charlton today. Alan Seamanson, who was due to make his debut at Chelsea yesterday, is disgusted at the attitude of his old club Barcelona in stalling for time, clearly in an effort to retain his services. This programme could easily become a collector's item. And Charlton chairman Mark Hullier today flew to Spain in a last desperate bid to get Barcelona to honour the agreements made between the two clubs. A meeting between the Barcelona president and Mr Hullier is taking place at this moment. Another saga involves the future of 3rd Division Reading, put up for sale a week or two ago. No definite decisions have yet been made on the club's future, although it seems likely that Roger Smee, a successful local businessman and former player at the club, will be a key figure. So far he's kept a low profile on any involvement with the club he loves. On the transfer front, Wrexham's Joey Jones will sign for Chelsea tomorrow, subject to passing a medical, the fee around £40,000. Manchester United's Ashley Grimes is a target for Stoke City manager Richie Barker. Liverpool's Craig Johnston interests Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion, although Albion manager Ron Wiley wants to see Johnston in action. And Notts County team manager Howard Wilkinson confirmed today that he has been approached by England manager Bobby Robson with a view to a full-time post at the FA. Howard also added that he would be reluctant to leave Notts County whilst they were in a poor position in the First Division. They're third from bottom at present. Time for some more action now, and a real thriller of a game from Scotland. Yesterday's Premier Division match between Rangers and Hibernian.
McClelland, excellent pass. Redford, that's the chip, and it's behind the players though. There's McClelland going for it again. Redford trying to jink his way forward. There's McDonald, and Johnston's done it. 1-0. Well, Johnson is always sharp in that kind of situation. He was looking at the ball and the goal and got in behind it. But that goes loose. There's a wonderful chance for Ruben. That's a great save. And there's the equaliser now by Murray. One each. 17 minutes of the game gone. Smartly back to Murray. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. You can't believe it, neither can I. Oh, does it look any better from another angle? No, I don't suppose it does. Jackie McNamara puts Rangers 2-1 in the lead. That's McKinnon, wants it back again. Does very well to get that over. That's a brilliant ball. Superb play by the Rangers fullback. Well, I think it looks to me, rather sadly, as if Jim MacArthur will have to be replaced. That really is a blow. There's Pat Stanton looking quite concerned about it all. There's Arthur Duncan. We're going to find out now what he's like as a goalkeeper. Jim MacArthur, off he goes, obviously still suffering. So, corner kick by Fritz. There's Arthur Duncan after it, and it's pushed in. Derek Johnson got the touch. Well, you can't get a worse baptism than that as a substitute goalkeeper than Derek Johnson charging in after the ball, getting behind it after exactly 11 minutes and pushing it home. This is a good-looking ball. Murray's in after it. And he's done it. He put it away. 3-2 right on the final whistle. Gary Murray scores his second goal. He really took that ball very well, pushed through to him. He was under pressure. He kept his head as the Rangers defence went back and then swept it in sweetly.
Well, there's football on Sports Night on Wednesday night, a second round, second leg match from the Milk Cup. There's international snooker too, England v Scotland, and the programme introduced by Harry Carpenter. 10:05 next Wednesday. Well, of the English teams involved in today's programme, only Arsenal have nothing to show for their efforts at the end of the day. They've been called lucky Arsenal on more than one occasion, but perhaps even some Spurs supporters would feel a touch of sympathy for them yesterday, especially for young Paul Davis, who, like Watford's Les Taylor, might like to see offside done away with, or at least applied sympathetically. Good afternoon.
It's a break the other way. Davis with Robson cutting in. And again with a similar shooting chance a moment ago. And it has the same end. But Van Breukelen well out of his goal, and Davis will score. No, he won't. He's offside.